Imagine stumbling across a crumbling saloon in the middle of the desert sunlight, bleeding through bullet holes in the walls, a poker table still set with cards frozen mid-game, and boots left beside a bed that hasn't felt a footstep in over a century. Now here's the weird part. No one actually died here. They just left. This isn't a horror movie. It's northern Nevada. Scattered across the vast, sunburnt plains and mountain backdrops of northern Nevada are hundreds of ghost towns, places that once pulsed with life, love, greed, and gunpowder. They are eerie, cinematic, and hauntingly quiet. But what makes them even more fascinating is that many of them vanished not because of disaster or war, but simply because the gold ran out or the railroad moved. Northern Nevada isn't just a graveyard of buildings, it's a graveyard of ambition. In this deep dive, we're peeling back the dusty curtains on ghost towns that boomers boomed and then busted. From Silver Rush chaos to atomic-era test sites, these forgotten places still whisper strange truths about America, capitalism, and our fleeting relationship with permanence. Let's define a ghost town. A ghost town is a once-populated settlement that has been abandoned or nearly abandoned. Some have zero residents. Others might have a lonely caretaker or two. Northern Nevada alone has over 600 of these, depending on how you define abandoned. They range from completely empty dirt patches with scattered lumber to full-on towns with intact general stores, jails, churches, and minor cabins. Ghost towns are like time capsules, only instead of being buried, they're wide open for the wind and coyotes to wander through. Most ghost towns in northern Nevada were born from a single fever: silver. Sure, California had gold in 1849. But when silver was discovered in the Comstock Lode near Virginia City in 1859, Nevada exploded with activity. Prospectors flooded in. Mining camps popped up almost overnight. And as soon as a vein looked promising, stores, saloons, and boarding houses followed. The population of Virginia City alone swelled to nearly 25,000 in the 1870s. These places weren't just dust and dynamite. They had theaters, newspapers, telegraphs, even ice cream parlors. But here's the irony. The more silver they found, the faster the place died. Mining towns lived and died by what was under the ground. As soon as the ore dried up, people moved on like nomads with pickaxes. Buildings were left behind because it cost more to tear them down or move them than they were worth. Take Aurora, Nevada. It once had 10,000 residents, 20 saloons, 3 newspapers, and Mark Twain even wrote about it. Now, it's a pile of stones and foundation stumps. The same goes for Metropolis, not the Superman city, but a real town built in 1910 with grand plans of being an agricultural hub. They even built a fancy brick hotel and a school. But the water rights fell through, and by the 1930s, it was toast. Despite the name, most ghost towns aren't haunted in the paranormal sense. The real haunting comes from how suddenly and completely life was drained away. One day, someone ordered a steak at the saloon. The next week, tumbleweeds were running the place. However, that doesn't mean these places are without their legends. In Goldfield, Nevada, the abandoned Goldfield Hotel is said to be haunted by the ghost of a woman named Elizabeth. In reality, the town boomed in the early 1900s, then crashed during World War I as the gold veins dried up. In Berlin, Nevada, not to be confused with the German city, there's a full ghost town preserved as part of Berlin Ichthyosaur State Park. You get a bonus there: the fossilized remains of prehistoric sea creatures. Let's zoom in on a few. Virginia City, the crown jewel. Still semi-populated and thriving as a tourist attraction. Wooden boardwalks, staged gunfights, and saloons that serve whiskey in mason jars. Rhyolite, technically in Nevada but closer to Death Valley. Home to the eerie, decaying ruins of a bank, a train station, and a house made of glass bottles. Belmont, once a county seat with a red light district and a courthouse still standing tall. Now it has less than 5 year-round residents. Cherry Creek, survived multiple booms and busts. Today, it's a curious mix of abandoned homes and stubborn holdouts. Each town has its own odd charm, like different flavors of abandonment. Ghost towns tap into a strange emotion: nostalgia for a time we never lived in. They make us feel like archaeologists, like detectives picking through the remains of ambition. There's something raw and cinematic about walking into a building that hasn't changed since Teddy Roosevelt was president. Plus, they make amazing Instagram backdrops. Admit it. But beyond that, these places raise questions. What is permanence? Why do we build? Why do we abandon? And could this happen again? Today, ghost towns are having a moment. Urban explorers and travel vloggers hunt them down. Historians document them. Photographers drool over them. And sometimes, a few souls even try to revive them. In places like Gold Point, Nevada, a few enterprising folks turned the town into a sort of Airbnb meets time machine experience. Want to sleep in a restored miner's cabin? You can. Just don't expect Wi-Fi. If there's one thing ghost towns teach us, it's that nothing lasts forever. Not even entire towns. They're metaphors in wood and rust. One day, your industry is booming. The next, your post office is boarded up. In an age where we worry about digital footprints, ghost towns are physical reminders of how easily our concrete ambitions can turn into dust. And maybe that's the most mind-blowing part of all. You could be sipping coffee in a bustling city today and walking through its ruins 50 years from now. The only thing that separates a ghost town from a boom town is time. So the next time you see a half-collapsed schoolhouse in the middle of the Nevada desert, remember? Someone once rang the bell there, believing the town would live forever. That's all for now. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more untold stories and wild discoveries. Hit the bell to never miss a video.